A pleasant good morning, grand rising to everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Coles Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. Yours truly, Coles Brown, joined by the panel. Coach Van Pettaway, good morning. A.D. Willa Brown, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Charles Edmond, good morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Cats and dogs and all in between.
All of that. Let's go.
It is countdown time now to football camps opening up all across the land for Southern University. They're scheduled to come in Tuesday. This upcoming Tuesday, we'll look at their schedule. We've got Alabama A&M's schedule that we're going to put up in Alcorn State. And then next week, we'll go through some more. Most of the teams in the conference are playing week 0. So we'll get ready to do it. Here's what's trending on today's show. Last week, I told you about Southern University as a new bowling coach, Jalen Rogers. She'll join me next Saturday, the new bowling coach at Southern University. Also, new tennis coach, Danisha Moore. She'll be the head tennis coach, and that was kind of shocking in a way because Coach Conyers, we said last week, has retired and has taken another position in the athletic department, and that has kind of been the tennis coach for the last 10, 15 years. Also, big news, breaking news, LeBron James to the Sixers. Me and Pat Riley had to talk this past last night. Disappointed, but hey, LeBron signs a 2-year contract for $8 million. Now he's with Philly, and now Coach Pettaway, the odds are Philly has jumped up in the top 5 for championships. But I say not so fast. That's what's trending on today's show. Good morning and good afternoon to everybody in the chat room. So, do we want to start with LeBron first, or do we want to go with the schedules?
I want to start with something, Carlos. You talked about Darnisha Moore, the tennis coach.
Mm-hmm.
She was at Alcorn. She used to be the tennis coach at Alcorn. That's a really good hire. That's a really good hire. So, job well done. Jaguar Nation. She's a really good coach, a really good person. She knows tennis, so I think that's a really good hire. And
we will make an effort to get her on. Jalen Rogers, a new bowling coach, and she got the opportunity. She was on the bowling team for Southern University. So 2 young coaches coming in the fold, they get an opportunity to now develop their craft.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron to Philadelphia. It was breaking news. I think I was having a bit of Crystal Light when that sweet tea and lemon when it came across the television. But I'm not really shocked because Philly was one of the teams they talked about, but it wasn't talked about the most. Miami. Everybody thought that was going to happen, or Cleveland. But Philadelphia comes up a 2-year contract for $8 million. So the odds are now Philly has a great chance to make it to the finals, but they still have to get by the defending champions, and that's the New York Knicks. So what do you think about it, Coach Pettaway?
Well, with that lineup, I'm looking at matchups. I can see a lot of issues with that lineup now. Because that means that now LeBron has to play the power forward spot, if I'm not mistaken. And that's not going to work because there's some power forwards that are going to bend his back, man. I'm talking about because of matchups now. He's not going to be able to handle them in the post. Now, he may have an advantage with them taking them away from the basket, but what on the other end of the floor when he has to defend, that to me, that could create a problem. Because when you look at the lineup, they end up with 3 guards and a forward in the lineup, and Embiid at the center. So LeBron would have to be the forward with that lineup because Brown is not going down there, Max is not going down there, and each what's his name?
Edgecombe.
Etch, you're right. He's not going down there. So that leaves LeBron down there on the defensive end of the floor, and I can see that being I can see that being a problem.
And I guess I would ask, is he really going to play enough minutes to make a difference?
He may
Does he have that in him? I mean, that's just a question.
Yeah.
Can he go? Can he go like that?
That's a good question.
Is Embiid going to be available?
That's
a bigger issue. Availability. Is he going to be available?
Yeah, because he has been he's been injury prone.
Yeah.
He really has. And again, somebody says, "Cause you blame him, he's a social media person." No.
Hey, I bet you that person doesn't have a job now.
Well, it slipped out, but guess what? It wasn't the truth.
Yeah.
But no, we don't know that. Hold up. We don't know that. LeBron may have changed his mind because they leaked it too quick. LeBron changed his mind because they leaked it too quick.
Yeah.
Well, I think he was going
to. Don't do that to us. You could have taken me, man. I was supposed to be on the golf. My brother was supposed to be being on the golf, and now you in Cancun. You could have taken
Dr. Cavill getting his vacation in before.
I know, and see, I was trying to get my fishing in before then. Got the tides too high, Carlos.
What kind of fish you were getting? Redfish?
Yeah, redfish and snappers. Yep.
Oh man, that's good eating. That is good eating.
Wait, now I was kind of surprised. I thought Miami, number one, that structure, that discipline. He knows the organization well. Him and Pat Riley have kissed and made up, all that. But then I thought about something that he said several years ago. He said, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And if you look at the teams that really had a chance to get him, the teams that he really wanted to go to, and just my own opinion, I think LeBron went to the most uncomfortable situation. That fan base in Philadelphia is no joke.
Yeah.
And if they boo Jalen Hurts, which they have, you talk about the Phillies, that's a rabid fan base. The expectation for the Philadelphia fans is they got to get it. Eastern Conference Finals or Finals year one. There's none of this. Let's wait till next year. If LeBron doesn't perform like the fans expect him to, he's going to get booed, and it's going to get uncomfortable for him. So that's why I'm kind of surprised in that sense. I thought he might go back to Miami, number one. I thought Golden State, number two. I thought Philadelphia, number three, and then Cleveland, just because it's home. And so I didn't really expect him to go back to Philadelphia, but we'll see. We will see.
Hey, but look, let me ask you this, though. Are the Philly fans really that fanatic about basketball now? Because they haven't done anything since what, 4-4-4? I'm serious. I'm
just saying, just the fan base overall is just very passionate, very emotional. And the way the story goes, guys, is that I don't know if it was a football game or a basketball game during the Christmas holidays. They showed a video of Santa Claus. Somebody
they boo Santa Claus. It's for real. It's for real. It's for real.
Wow.
I mean, so what does that say? But we'll see if LeBron fits. There's only one basketball, as I've texted you guys, and Nick Nurse is on the clock because every coach that LeBron has kind of played with, for the most part, except Spo, has been shown the door. So we'll see. Yep. There's a lot of moving pieces with this, and so we'll see if it works.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting. Can they get to the Eastern Conference Finals in year one? And I think LeBron has done well in year two, wherever he's been. So it'll be interesting to see how it all works out. But until New York is dethroned, they're the defending champions. Mm-hmm. And the best bets are San Antonio has the best odds of winning the championship, going through the process. We saw what happened in the finals.
Yeah.
They literally could have won that series.
Yeah.
They were ahead in every game, and they lost it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Then let's see what Cleveland does now. James Harden. They're going to try to sign him in. Miami. And this is the thing. if they put everything in LeBron and he's not going there now, he's going to Philadelphia, then the Heat have some work to do. I'll be talking to Pat Riley early next week.
Even with that matchup, look at Miami. Who's LeBron gonna guard? Who's he gonna guard?
Say that again.
Bam? No. Giannis? No.
Oh, you talking about LeBron?
Yeah, LeBron. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Matchup problem. Who is he gonna defend on the defensive end of the floor? Because as he gets older now, that grind in the paint is not going to be good on his body. You know, he was able to stay on the perimeter. You can last longer on the perimeter because you're not doing all that fighting. So your body holds up. But if you got to grind every game in the paint, with them guys down there, them body blows and stuff, that's going to be tough. And you know, as much as he cried now, they don't have to baby wipes up there in Philly now because he could be crying the whole time.
Well, you're gonna be crying and they're gonna be booing. So hey.
The two go hand in hand.
But you know what? Philly fans are no different than New York. That's also a tough place to play.
Mm-hmm.
Boston, tough place to play.
Mm-hmm.
With Miami now, they're going to have to get some people out on the perimeter. Now, you know, the talk is Klay Thompson. Then they got some players that they've been bought out. And if I'm not mistaken, you could pick them up and the majority of their salary will still be from the team that they left. So they're going to be adding some pieces in there. But, you know, Klay Thompson, basically Miami's looking to win now. And you know what I said, Coach Pettaway? I thought they should be building for the future. But Pat Riley wants to win now. So let's see what pieces he put around him, because you know Guinness, he just goes down in the paint all the time. Yeah. You know, then he's going to kick it out. Bam, it's kind of like a point forward. He's been developing and working on his 15, 16-foot shot. But they still gonna have to someone said DeMar Rosen and Klay are my picks for the Heat. I think
DeRozan signed with Cleveland.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you this. Then a couple of weeks ago, they showed us that already without Miami making any more trades, they got there we go. They already have perimeter shooting. You know, I didn't know those percentages were that high for the people that they showed us on the graphic. I didn't know those guys were shooting the long ball that well. So now if that's true, they got shooter. Oh, here we go. Porters, Hardaway. All these guys are almost 40% from the three. That's pretty good now.
Yeah, but I want to see them be consistent with it.
Well, 46 and 41% now. As a coach, you take that now.
Yeah, but I wonder how many threes they putting up a game.
Oh yeah, that's true. The volume. Yeah, you might be right there. Yeah. But that's pretty. That's the graphic I was talking about. That's pretty decent. Now, if they can shoot the same thing they shot last year, that'll create some space on the floor because you got to honor it.
Then I'm also hearing Wiggins might be getting traded. I don't know. You hear a whole lot of different things, but I think they're just gonna have to put it in the pieces.
But don't they make trades and they make to now that LeBron is where he is, now the other people in the East, they're going to be trying to make sure that they're matching up or they got the right pieces in place so that when they do play these people, because they're at the beginning, everybody was looking at the Knicks. What do we need to do to climb over the Knicks mountain? Now that has shifted a little bit. What will LeBron bring to the Philly that we got to make an adjustment for? That's what they're looking at now.
Well, let's look at Detroit. Big disappointment. Number one seed, you have them. You have Cleveland. You have New York. Orlando.
Orlando's up and coming.
Yeah. So the West probably is the strongest, but not by a whole lot now. I think all the eyes are going to be on the East. You know, early favorites, it could be a rematch. The Knicks in San Antonio.
But other than
OKC, okay, go ahead, Charles. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, in the West, other than OKC and San Antonio, who is in that next tier? Denver.
Yeah.
Denver. Maybe Minnesota.
Minnesota. I mean, Ant needs some help. I mean, he was in Minnesota was in the LeBron sweepstakes, but I don't know. I don't think that ever was going to happen. I think the East is more compelling because of all the moves. Miami, New York, Boston without Jaylen Brown, Philly, Orlando's coming, Cleveland, Detroit. I think the East is a beast.
Well,
yeah, I think it's easy.
Cleveland, yeah.
You know what though? I think it's easier to get to the championship in the East than it is the West now. Because now, even though OKC, I'm gonna tell you something. I question one of the last moves they made.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I question that now because to me they're messing with their depth, man.
But OKC is right at that apron, and that I know you're talking about Doyle. Oh my goodness!
That's right.
That, and he was a defensive specialist as well.
Right. The toughness.
But guess what, Wheeler? They don't want to play that luxury tax.
Yeah.
So they shedding contracts like a lizard shedding skin.
I wonder if this good for the. I wonder if this good for the league, though. I mean, is good for fans? Is it good for the league overall? Players are having to leave money on the table. Is this good?
I don't see why not. If it's someplace that you want to play, you got to make sacrifices on both ends. Yeah,
right, but
yeah.
In some cases, the players don't want to leave.
That's true.
But the franchise has to move them because of that doggone thing.
Yeah.
They're trying to get away from that luxury tax.
Yeah.
From my apron, so that they get rid of you. You don't want to leave.
And them owners in this thing to make money too now. Don't get that part twisted. Yeah. I mean, they don't just want the players to make money. They're trying to make some themselves. So, and you have to look at their window. How short is the ownership window?
I got a text message. The key for Philly is what their bench looks like. Interesting.
Yeah. Will the Lake Show compete?
LeBron on it, so it looked pretty good. LeBron on it, so it looks pretty good.
He's not coming off the bench though. But his minutes, he doesn't have to play a whole lot of minutes because he's 41?
Yeah.
Drew says, will the Lakes compete in the West? I think Denver is the X factor. I really think so because OKC, San Antonio, 1-2.
And I certainly did not see the Lakers doing what they did. I promise you I did. I did not see that coming. I don't know what direction they're going in. I'm going to be honest. What is, okay, when you see LA Lakers now, what type of team do you see? I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Well, I'm not going to get in trouble like Stephen A. Smith. He kind of said it, basically this team is 5 white guys playing.
Right.
And then he doubled down on it.
Yep.
I have no idea. I think that team Wheeler likes to talk about the upper thirds, thirds for the Lakers, middle thirds, lower thirds, play in. Right. I think that's what, despite the moves that they made, I honestly think the Lakers are going to continue to change people out. I would be surprised if JJ Redick is gone in a couple of years, if not sooner. The general manager, I think all that's going to get flushed out with the new ownership. You're going to see a whole new Lakers organization from top to bottom, I think.
Because to me, they got stronger in the paint in terms of defense now. But on the perimeter, they're still suspect. They got 2 guys out there that can't guard anybody.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You mean Luka can't guard anybody?
Hey, look, they're gonna need plenty of Kleenex, man, because they're gonna be going out of bounds, man. They're gonna have their noses gonna be running, man. But then when they put Kessler in the middle, that sold up the interior some, because he's still slow of foot. But man, they got a lot of slow feet on the floor at the same time. Let's put it that way.
Over 40 wins or under for the Lakers?
Under.
Wow.
I don't know. Is 40 that hard to get?
I think they'll get 40.
I mean, out of 82, 40 ain't that hard to get.
Yeah, they'll get 40.
45 and 37. 45 and 37 and battling for a play-in spot.
Yep. Now that's me. I think they'll be looking at the play-in.
Now let's see what Miami. I'm gonna say 45 to 50 wins, and that might be stretching it a bit.
I agree. I can see that for Miami.
And maybe the 4th spot in the East.
See,
4th.
Wait a minute. Hold up. Detroit. Oh, no. It got to be lower than that. Now, hold up. You got the Knicks, reigning champs. Detroit.
Watch it, Coach Bettaway. Watch it.
I don't know about that with Carlos now. I don't know about 4th now.
Let's see. New York, Detroit, Cleveland, Philly,
right.
Boston.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Orlando.
Right.
Maybe 6.
Carlos,
6.
5th or 6. 5th or 6, Carlos.
I said the 4 because the 4 you got home court advantage.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I guess that would be the goal, but we're all in agreement it's more likely to be 6th or 7th.
Yeah.
55 to 60 win. No, I don't see that coming. Nope.
I am glad, Carlos. I am glad about this. The whole LeBron Pat Riley beef. Pat Riley was on a show, I think the Levitard show, and he did say that him and LeBron, and then of course we had a quote last week about it. I'm glad that they were able to, kiss and make up a little bit on that, because that was nasty the way that ended, the way what Pat Riley said, when LeBron left. I'm glad they were able to make amends on it, because I thought that was crazy and ugly the way it happened. It's business, but I'm glad they were able to make some sort of truce on it.
Well, you can't take that stuff personal, Charles.
Well,
That's
I mean, I
don't think they made up.
You can't take that stuff personal.
I agree. I don't think LeBron did. I think Pat was hurt. I think LeBron had rolled down his back. But I think for Pat Riley, some of the stuff he said right after it happened, kind of didn't sit well with me. At just rose-colored glasses and some of the stuff he said was like, you fooling me on one end and then stab me in the back on the other end. That's kind of what I got out of it. But I'm glad they were able to, come to a truce, make up and let time heal. And so I'm glad that happened. I was wondering, would that inhibit him going to Miami if that was to happen? But I'm glad they were able to make it up.
See, I didn't think they really made up. I think it was made up because he was hoping that other plane would land, and that's LeBron in Miami.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens now. I mean, he's been silent since LeBron chose Philadelphia. So
yeah.
LeBron to Philadelphia. Now the odds are Philly is in the top 3, but we shall see.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something else. Man, I just lost my train of thought. So what we'll do, we'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at some schedules. I think we'll put up we'll flip a coin. Southern and Alcorn, Alabama A&M. Let's go with Alabama A&M when we come back. Look at their football schedule. And Brown is number 1 quarterback, right?
Yes.
That's it. Wow. It's last year, right?
Yeah, was it 8? Yeah, 8.
Wow.
Y'all stop it.
But you know what? You could see the difference though when he went down. Coach Pettaway said when he went down, you could see the difference. And they start off the season in the SWAC Challenge.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for Sam, though, Coach Pettaway. I'm rooting for Sam. I'm rooting for
yeah,
Sam.
so am I. So am I. Great guy. Great guy.
You
Well,
better beat Alabama State.
Yeah.
Oh no, Alabama State. They got to worry about that first game. Ted White, Howard University, a Baton Rouge native.
Oh, yeah.
Baton Rouge native. So you kind of split, but I guess I got to go with the SWAC on that one.
Ted got to show me, though, Carlos. Ted got to show me. Ted got to show me.
Well, he's an offensive guru.
He ain't showing you anything, Wheeler.
He gonna need to be at Howard. He gonna have to show me.
And you know, I saw something on the news about, I guess it was parents upset about enrollment and some of the
How long you gonna let them kids stay and not pay? You know, you gotta set that line somewhere. And from what I gather, Carlos, they went through the whole 9 yards in terms of notifying the kids and letting them know what's going on every step of the way, that sort of thing. So, I mean, it's not like they just woke up one morning and said, we cutting everybody that hasn't paid tuition. You know, they've been about a month. This has been about a month in the making. Yeah, so if you read your emails, if you know, all this sort of thing, you know, keeping correspondence with the folk at the institution, then you know all this is coming down the line. But nobody just woke up and said, we're going to let we putting Carlos Brown out of school because he ain't paid his tuition by 5 o'clock today.
Yeah.
Guess what? Carlos Brown be raising all kind of hell. On that note, we'll take a timeout. Boy, I'm suffering with allergies here. Yeah. Look at the eyes. They just. Is that me? Yeah. But we'll be back after this timeout. You're watching Carlos Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. We shall return.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a state, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image.
Ever told yourself, I want to get into real estate but don't know where to start? Here's something just for you. From Friday, July 31st to Sunday, August 2nd, the Learn Real Estate Fast Masterclass is coming to McKenzie Office Park in College Park. You'll learn wholesaling, commercial investing, and how to purchase property with zero money or credit. I can tell you, education and access are everything. This masterclass is designed to give you both. Whether you're brand new or ready to level up, this is where you start making real moves. Enjoy free lunch, free study materials, and receive a certification of completion. So don't wait. Seats are filling fast. Do not sit on the sidelines while others build wealth. Take that first step toward ownership and legacy. Get your tickets now at learnrealestatefast.com or tickpick.com. For more information, call 678-859-3303. Master the market, build your legacy, secure your future today.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU Sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Introducing the HBCU Trivia Game. It's more than a board game. It's a journey to the legacy of historically black colleges and universities. Here's how it works. 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, start as freshmen and roll the dice to advance. But here's the twist. You can only move forward by answering trivia questions about HBCU. Test your knowledge of notable alumni, key historical events, sports milestones, and fun HBCU facts. Watch out for spaces that can propel you ahead or set you back. And if you get a question wrong, you stay put until your next turn. The first to reach graduation wins. The HBCU Trivia Game. Support, educate, entertain. Available now. Let the journey begin.
Football fans, HBCU football is back in the ATL on August 29th with the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge Kickoff presented by Toyota, representing the SWAC, Alabama A&M, and representing the MEAC, Howard, Bulldogs, Bison, the Marching Maroon and White, the Showtime Marching Band, the premier FCS matchup in primetime with a kickoff trophy up for grabs. Join us pre-game for band jamborees, food, activations, and fellowship. For tickets and information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Coles Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. Yours truly, Coles Brown, A.D. Willa Brown, Charles Edmond, and Coach Van Pettaway. Defending national band champs, the Human Digital Jukebox. They will defend their title in this upcoming year. But you hear the band cranking it up. Fall camp is about to start. Hot days, and the Birmingham Classic, Southern University, Alabama State, 2 p.m. in Birmingham.
Wow.
Well, 2 o'clock, because then you have the MEAC SWAC Challenge later that day. So that time, you don't want them to kind of bump up against each other. So with that being said, 2 p.m. and I'm going to have to get a look at Southern's fall camp. Will they practice in the evening? Last year, they did a lot of night practices. Like today, the heat index will be 112 in Baton Rouge.
Wow.
It's hot.
Yeah.
Very hot. So I guess they're going to take their time. You got to play in the heat. You got to practice in the heat. But I guess you got to be careful there.
Carlos, here in the state of Mississippi, the High School Association passed a resolution. You cannot practice when the temperature is over 92 degrees.
Wow. Well, in Louisiana, they wouldn't be practicing if that rule was here. Wow.
Well, I was always one to let the athletic trainers decide
Right,
what was safe and wasn't safe. And, I relayed those messages to my coaches accordingly. If the trainers get a whiff that it's not safe to go out there, y'all ain't going. And I ain't trying to hear anything otherwise.
Yeah.
So, you have to take some decisions out of the hands of the coaches and put them, because, coaches going to want to go. They don't care. We don't care. We coaches, tough it up, suck it up. Let's go.
Right,
Yeah.
but with school not being in, it'll be easier for the coaches to make adjustments. In other words, you can go, early in the morning, or you can go late at night because there's no classes right now. So you got 2 or 3 weeks before school starts to get these kids acclimated to the temperatures. To get their bodies acclimated. So I know in this day and time in 2020, 26, these people are doing the due diligence. In other words, they are relying on the trainers. The coaches are not. I think that day is gone where the football coach tells everybody what to do. I think there's got to be some collaboration now, and I think it's happening. And I know at Alabama A&M, they'll make the right decisions. You go with mornings before that temperature gets up there, or you go at night. It's very simple. Yep.
We go in the mornings, 7:15. Ball kicks off at 7:15.
Yep.
And see, you have to deal with the heat, but then it's also the southern campus is right by the Mississippi River. Humidity. That's the real culprit. I mean, you have direct sunlight, but just like if you came to Baton Rouge at say 10 o'clock at night, humidity is 90%. And it's also humid in the morning. You get that good dry heat in the afternoon. The hottest part of the day is between 2 and 5, 2 and 6. So at some point, you have to get a little bit of taste of it. But then you don't want to have anybody get injured, lawsuits. You don't want anybody to suffer with a heat stroke. And I was talking to somebody this past week. When you look at it, climate change is real. I don't remember it being as hot as a young man growing up in Baton Rouge. But now it is extremely hot, so you have to be very cautious. Very cautious.
Global warning, Carlos. Global warning is for real.
Wait a minute. Who is this? EA saying, A.D. Wheeler, your former O-line coach is rolling over in his grave hearing you say that soft from heaven.
Right. Look, but you know what? But Wheeler, and they go back to the old days where when you walk out on the field, what was the first thing on the table? What was the first thing on the table? Doggone salt tablet. You take them doggone salt tablet and get your butt out there. It was never anything about the temperature. What I'm saying back in the day now, when they didn't, that was never considered, man.
And they
salt tablets and you just go to work.
Yeah, eat about 3 or 4 and get on out there.
and back in the day they had 2 a days, sometimes 3 a days.
3 a days.
Right. Yep. And all 3 sessions you walk by them salt tablets.
You got that right. You got that right. And didn't have many water breaks, Carlos. Water few and far in between. That's for sure. Don't get that part twisted. Water? Are you kidding me? Water?
Hey, so Wheeler, that's why all them walking around now with high blood pressure.
Well, it's that time of year. Fall camps are right around the corner. Let's take a look at Alabama A&M's schedule, and maybe we'll get a prediction from the panel. Of course, the MEAC SWAC. I like to say SWAC MEAC challenge, but M comes before S. August 29th against Howard. And then what's that? Miles, September the 5th.
Great. That'll be a great crowd. Then you got Tennessee State after that. Tennessee State, that'll be another big crowd for Alabama A&M. But this will be the first game, Wheeler, where you'll see the crowd drop off. You got Bowie State coming in for the Hall of Fame game. By tradition, that will not draw as well as the first 2. And then, of course, they go after that. They go to Tallahassee. I will be there with them. I will be there with them for that game. And then Jackson State in Mobile for the Gulf Coast Challenge. And after that, they'll come back home to Bethune-Cookman. Now, a lot of fans are looking forward to that game. Alabama A&M, we lost that game toward in the last couple of minutes down in Daytona Beach. So they're looking for that rematch. And then the game that's going to be probably determine what happens for Alabama A&M for the year. They host Grambling for homecoming, Carlos. Homecoming. That's a game where you probably won't be able to get on campus after 9 a.m. Of course, the Magic City Classic comes up against Alabama State. And as you all have said, especially Charles, Coach Shade needs to make sure that the troops are ready for that game against Alabama State.
Hey, they got games before the Magic City Classic, but
they do.
And then, of course, they're on the road after that to Prairie View. They go to PV for a big time matchup November the 7th, and then they'll close it out at home, or their home half of the schedule with Texas Southern. Now, traditionally, that is senior day. It'll be more high school seniors in the stands than our loyal fans. For I hate to say, and then they close out their season at Mississippi Valley. So that's Alabama A&M. That's their schedule. I look forward to seeing it. 6 home games. Been a while since we had 6 home games, and we're gonna enjoy those home games. I'll go on the road with them. I'll go to Tallahassee. I'll probably go down to Mobile.
Coach, by the way, I'm surprised Bowie State coming up to you guys. Yeah, that was a real surprise right there. You get to see the Worm, Coach Worm.
Yep.
And so, but I'm the guarantee must be pretty good.
Yeah, must be. You know, A&M has that. Coach Brian has that money tree back there in his backyard, so he's bringing them in. He's bringing them in.
We know, Wheeler, you all call him. You talking about Dawson Odoms, right?
Yeah.
We know he's been called 2 things: Coach Worm and Coach Perm.
Yeah.
both are good adjectives.
Yeah.
But you're looking at this schedule once again. FAMU September 26th, but then October 3rd, 10th, and 17th.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the teams in this conference, October is the toughest part of the schedule, and I see this for Alabama A&M, and then you got the Magic City Classic, then you got Prairie View, November the 7th.
Right.
Coach Pettaway, realistically, 5 to 6 wins.
I'm leaning more towards 6. I think he'll do at least 6 of them. I think he'll get at least 6 wins out of this. You want more, but I see him getting at least 6 wins out of it. That's why I said I thought by the time we play Grambling, we will know whether or not this is going to be a good year for the Bulldogs.
Mm-hmm. October,
you're right. October 17th.
If the QB stays healthy, I believe they'll get 6.
Yes.
If the QB stays healthy. And year 2 of your building program, that ain't bad.
And then if you look at his
year 2,
Coach Shays has always done well in year 2.
Mm-hmm.
On every level, high school and college. So I'm looking for bigger and better things for him. He got his staff in place. He's got returning players that already know the system. So I'm looking forward to a better year, a more exciting year for Alabama A&M football.
And he got a coach's AD and Dr. Bryant.
Oh yeah, great.
So I mean, he's not gonna find a bigger supporter or somebody that understands the nuances more than Coach Bryant, and that's a plus.
Yep.
How important is it now? Just like Alabama State, and this is the first time I've seen A&M schedule. You got 8 games in the state. You got Birmingham,
right?
You got a bunch of home games, and so you don't have many games outside of the state. Is that an advantage, disadvantage, or wash?
I think it's an advantage for them. It's definitely a great recruiting tool to play that many games within the state because you got so many football players here in the state of Alabama. I think it gives the kids the understanding that their people will probably be there for most of these games. So even if it's on the road, it's going to be like a home game for them because their people are going to be there for them. So I think it's an advantage. I like this schedule.
Expenses wise, monetarily, you're still spending just as much money.
Right.
Yeah. So unless you got a few that are quote unquote day trips, in terms of day of the game type trips, you're still spending money, hotel rooms and meals and all that sort of thing and stuff. Coach is still gonna want to get out of there on Friday.
Oh yeah, yeah. For all
to
these
where they're
games,
going. So,
hey, Wheeler, there's not a day game on this schedule. There's
Yeah.
not a day. They're going the night before for every one of these games.
ain't no doubt about it. Ain't no doubt about it. And can't blame them, Coach. Really.
Right. But see, you got help though. You got Magic City Classic. You're gonna have help with that, with those expenses. When you do the Gulf Coast Classic, you're gonna have help with those expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's not that bad being in state. Yep.
In the chat room, people say I like that schedule. Lawrence said that means Alabama and then will have a losing SWAC record. EA says how many wins in conference?
No,
well, that's going to be that'll be interesting. But you know what? A couple of victories and get old momentum on your side. Real says if they don't get more than 6 wins, the coach will be on shaky ground. Oh, come on. Not that 2-year contract.
Just
not all 6 and 6s. Not all 6 and 6s are the same. A 6 and 6 for A&M with a win over Bama State, I think fans will take it. A 6 and 6 with a loss to Alabama State, folks gonna start griping.
Well, if
they're gonna gripe regardless. So
they'll gripe louder with a loss in the Magic City.
You can't please everybody. And look, I get it. The Magic City Classic is their Super Bowl, but there are more games to be won before then. Now let's take a look at Alcorn's schedule. And we'll pull
up that Miles College game right in week 1.
That's the game, man. That's the game.
Better not lose that game. That's all I'm
gonna say.
That's
right. I've heard a number of people have told me about this Miles game. First of all, from a business standpoint, from a fiscal standpoint, we do recoup a home game, which I'm glad we're able to get that. But from a X's and O's and where we are as a program standpoint, we need to win that game. We need to win that game.
He might be gone Monday morning.
I've heard some brutal comments about losing to Miles. Somebody told me if Cedric Thomas loses this Miles game, he needs to be on the bus with Miles on the way off campus. It's tough. It's tough. But yeah, we open up with Miles. This USM game's been on the slate for a number of years. And then UAPB in Memphis, we're turning our home game to Memphis like UAPB did. That North Alabama game, we are getting a guarantee for that. So that's one. We're opening up their new stadium, newly renovated, seats about 8,000. So we'll be going there. That's a long trip to Florence. That's a little longer than I thought it would be, but nonetheless, Texas Southern at home. We go to Grambling on their homecoming. We play on 2 homecomings this year, ladies and gentlemen. At Grambling's for their homecoming in Prairie View, October 17th. So that will be really interesting. We got homecoming October 10th. And then, of course, we got Valley on the road October 31st. Quinn Gray, former quarterbacks coach at Alcorn, comes to all. I think that's the first time, if I'm not mistaken, that Florida A&M has been to Alcorn. So a lot of people are looking forward to that. And then the Jaguars. It's just so funny, Carlos, playing Southern University in November. I'm so used to that October 17th date, October 24th. I'm used to playing Southern in October. But nonetheless, we go to Southern. It's not their homecoming. And then Jackson State to finish up the season. It's a big year. A lot of excitement for Jalen Tolbert and the offense, what we can do. We open up at home, and we'll see how it all falls.
Well, November looks to be tough now. The month of November is very tough.
Yeah, you got FAMU, Southern, and Jackson State.
Right.
Then you got Prairie View. How many wins? I think it's another 5 to 6 wins.
That's about it.
Maybe
my
7.
A 7-win season means that I probably won't be with you guys. I'll probably be without a job.
You be where?
I'll be somewhere looking for a job. A 7-win season. 7-win season ain't gonna cut it. I'll say this: a lot of fans have told me, and this is the last year of Thomas's contract, of course. What is it going to take for another extension? For an extension, 9 wins with a win over Jackson, 8 wins with a loss over Jackson. And so and our president has said the coaches know what the expectation is.
You better go ahead and register for that U-Haul. You better go ahead and put that U-Haul on layaway.
So they're trying to say 9 wins. They got to do 9 wins.
9 wins with a win over Jackson State mixed in there.
I'm like you. Just every month, just set aside a little money for the U-Hauls.
Two men and a truck.
Yep.
and I tell you, I talked to him briefly. I said, Charles had y'all coming out of the West. He was like,
I do.
No. He said, no, we're right where we need to be. 3rd. He doesn't want that smoke.
I don't mind the smoke. I really don't. I just feel, look, I've taken the Wheeler Brown of fandom. And if Jalen Tolbert didn't come back or transferred or whatever the case, I would not have us as confident as where I have us. I think we could be a 3rd place team in the West. But I think because of what he's done, and I talked to him at Media Day, I think Tolbert's going to have a really good year, and I think we're going to have a really good year. And so that's I feel pretty confident about it.
I don't know, Charles. I don't know.
Now, when you say confidence, are you saying 9 wins, Charles?
9 wins with a win over Jackson State. We'll be talking another contract. 9 wins with a loss over Jackson State. It's gonna get really interesting. Anything less? I'm just.
Somebody said might as well put the yard sign in already.
There's high expectations, guys. You know, our president came out and said at our signing party, the coaches know what the expectation is, and the expectation. And I'm thinking 9-3. Don't be Jackson. That we're 5-7 and 6-6 the previous 2 years, 9 wins. Yo, let's run this thing back. But I don't know. I mean,
you have a lot of confidence, Charles.
You got a whole lot of confidence, Charles.
I have a lot of confidence. I have a lot of confidence. I have a lot of confidence. And it's been a tough 2 years for Cedric Thomas. There is no doubt about it. Some tough losses. Last year, some tough losses. It took us a while to get warmed up, but we won 5 out of 6 in the year, and you just got to build on that. This is a whole nother year. You can't look back at last year, but that Miles College game is going to say quite a bit, because USM, you can take that one off the slate. That UAPB. Last year I said that the Florida A&M game in Tallahassee was probably the pivot game for me, and it turned out to be that. Because that's the game that Tolbert broke out and started running the football more, and then we kind of got going from there. So the pivot game for me, I think, is the Prairie View game for their homecoming. That's the pivot game for me. We'll see what Prairie View looks like. Tremaine Jackson, he's Tremaine Jackson, but I look at Miles, I look at UAPB in Memphis. That North Alabama game is going to be tough, but Texas Southern at home. Mickey Joseph's got a new offensive coordinator. We'll see how that looks. I'm looking at that Prairie View game as a very pivot point for us.
I'm looking at the beginning of the year. You ain't just got to beat Miles. You got to beat Miles.
Yeah, but
I actually see them winning at home. Next week, Southern Miss. After 4 games, they're 2-2.
All right.
I think North Alabama is going to open up a can.
No. I disagree. North Alabama only won 3 games last year.
Three wins.
3 wins, and they opened up a brand new stadium. Now there's going to be a lot of hype because they're going into that new stadium. So Alcorn's got to be ready to play.
Yeah.
But on the field, they're not even picked high. I think they're picked next to last in their conference. So their own conference don't expect them to be that good this year. So I think Alcorn has a chance in that game.
Yeah, but you ain't playing against 11, Coach Pettaway, when you get over there. So
yeah, we know. Yeah, we know about.
Don't get that part twisted. Don't get that part twisted up there.
Yeah. And they're gonna want to. Hey, look, and they're gonna want to win their first game in that stadium.
You got that right. New stadium, sure.
Yeah.
So in other words, you see them 3-1 in 4 games. I say 2-2, but 3-1 would be look out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
They could be 3-1 after 4 games. Yes.
Yeah. So again, this is a big year for Alcorn. This is a big year for Cedric Thomas and that staff. We lost some coaches. We lost our strength coach. Some other coaches we've had to rebuild a little bit there. But I feel fairly confident on the offensive side of the ball. And that's kind of the big thing for me with Tolbert. We're going to have a new running attack. Our 2 top running backs are gone. Our top receiver transferred to North Carolina State. So our offense is rebuilt a little bit, but you got to have a quarterback to make it work. And I think Jalen Tolbert's definitely a new quarterback, a different quarterback than he was 12 months ago. So that's where I'm hanging my hat on that. I think
you put lock of the week on the quarterback. You know what? God forbid though, if he goes down with an injury, all bets are off.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of taking the approach when I watch shows, whether it's SEC, SWAC, people talk about the coach and the quarterback. You got to have a productive quarterback to win. I don't care what level it is. And I think Tolbert will be more productive than he was last year. This schedule is not easy. It's not hard. You got to bring it. Miles right off the bat, this probably is a 2-year thing. We'll probably see him again next year at this time. So, you just gotta come with it. And I think the Braves will have that. I think playing on 2 homecomings, it'll be tough. Valley's gonna bring it, coach. Valley's coach said at media day he's tired of hearing Valley gonna play you tough. He wants to break through, win some games. And by the way, that's gonna be a special game, October 31st, because for people in Mississippi that remember Alcorn and Mississippi Valley at the Vet, one of the biggest crowds ever at the Vet, Jerry Rice, Willie Totten. They're going to honor that 84 team in Itabita. A.D. Gaston kind of mentioned that to me at media day. So that's going to be a really big day. It's going to be a big crowd there. And so that's going to be a really special day. And, Valley, no one's talking about them, but you can't sleep on them either. So the schedule's the schedule. You see it, but it's going to be a big year, I believe. And it has to be a big year or else we kind of know what will probably happen.
Well, last week we talked about some coaches you see at media day this year, you won't see next year. And I predict it could be possible 2 openings, and they're both in the West. Now, let's go with Southern schedule. This should be interesting. The unknown is what I've talked about with Coach Falk in Southern University. Always high expectations, and we'll find out right off the bat against Alabama State. 2-10, never again is the motto.
I hope to see that. I hope to never, as a SWAC fan, Carlos, I hope to never see Southern go 2-10 again. I just, it's still hard to wrap my brain around.
Won't happen, Charles. First big shocker of this show. They're going to win more than 2 games. Alabama State, I think that's going to be an old slobber knocker. Southern University, with the go-go offense, they're going to run the football. Quarterback is going to be very interesting. You got 7. I know some smarty pants going to say, well, if you got 2, you got none. It's going to be very interesting to see how that quarterback room develops. And according to Coach Falk, he'll make a choice quickly. 6-6? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So let's look at it. Boy, 6 is the going rate for this show. Then Kentucky State. Coach Huggins, Baton Rouge native. There's another one, well, right outside Baton Rouge. That's going to be an interesting game. Kentucky State says they got robbed last year against Graham. So they're going to be fired up. This is a game you can't take any look. You can't take any opponent lightly. September the 12th against the University of Houston. It is what it is. A nice payday. Southern playing in Houston. A lot of alumni there. Then the next week, Louisiana Christian. You might say, who is that?
Yeah.
A team that you should spank. And spank them thoroughly.
Alexandria, formerly Louisiana Baptist.
Yeah, talk.
No,
David.
Louisiana College. I'm saying Louisiana College. I'm sorry.
Yeah, in Pineville. That first game gonna let you know against Alabama State. Then September the 26th at Jackson State. If Jackson wins this game, it's what, 8 in a row? 7 in a row, 8 in a row? Then you got Arkansas Pine Bluff at Southern, October the 3rd. Then Mumford West, October the 10th. Southern at Prairie View A&M. Now, a little difference in the schedule. October 24th is Southern at Texas Southern. Texas Southern, that game is homecoming, NRG Stadium in Houston. Then October 31st, you got FAMU. FAMU's had Southern's number as of late. November 7th, a Bethune-Cookman team that offensively, they were a juggernaut last year. Big thing with them, will their defense be improved? Then November the 14th, Alcorn State. And then the Bayou Classic. Now, Southern defeated Grambling last year, throw the records out. I was on the HBCU Hour. I had Southern winning 9 games. I'm going to still stick to that prediction. What's the minimum? 7. But a very interesting schedule. We'll find out in week 1.
I'm a 6-6 guy. I'm a 6-6 guy.
Yeah. Will Wallace says 4-8. Okay.
We've been on 6-6. Let's stay with it. I'm gonna stay with 6-6.
Which ain't bad year 1. Yeah, it shouldn't be anyway. But I know at some institutions they're expecting a whole lot more, that sort of thing. But 6-6 coming in the door, that ain't bad year 1.
I think they're going to shock a lot of people.
Carlos, I'm looking at this schedule. So you all are playing in Houston 3 times. U of H, Prairie View, and Texas Southern. I didn't know that.
2 out of the 3 wins.
Okay. I said this a while ago. I think that running game led by Trey Holly is going to get you 3 wins. Just on that.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Charles, that running back room is more than Trey Holly now.
I know. I said Trey Holly and the running game will get you 3 wins. Get whoever Falk announces a quarterback, your defense. I feel comfortable with 5-7 year 1. Now the Jaguar Nation not going to be comfortable with 5-7, but I see 5-7. You doubled your win total. 5-7 winning the Bayou Classic. Not great, but maybe something to build on in year 2.
Let's see. 5-7. We have several 5-7s, a 4-8. Oh, ye of little faith. That's all I'm going to say.
If Southern wins 2 or 3 games this year, there's going to be a riot on Southern's campus. That just can't happen. And I don't think it will.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, they're going to win more than 2 games now. Come on. I'm going to stick with 6. I got them winning at least 6. And I'm leaning more so what Carlos said, 7-5, but at least 6 wins.
That first game, I'm going back to it. And the most improvements from week 1 to week 2. I just think it's going to be old slobber knocker. Alabama State.
And Carlos, if they upset Bama State, this is going to be a 7-win team.
I can see that.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Coming out the gate, if they beat a team like Bama State, I don't care about the score. If they win that game, this is a 7-win team because I think they're confident. They'll come home and they'll beat Kentucky State. Houston's going to be ready for them. After that, they're going to take off, man.
Yeah. I mean, what Perry White is saying is true. The question is, how long is it going to take for them to get there? I mean, you expect that in year one? Yeah, every team is 0-0. Every team has a shot to win a championship. But realistically, what's how much time will Marshall Faulk have? We all know the last couple of coaches. We know how that turned out. Will Marshall Faulk have that kind of time?
What kind of time are you talking about? If
3 years?
If Southern, I'm gonna be honest with you. If they get to the championship or win a championship, I think he's out of here before 3 years.
Going where?
I think it.
Going where?
He'll be gone. He'll be gone.
I don't see it. I think he's still got a lot of developing to do from a coaching point of view, and I just don't believe he'll be a finished product for potentially that next level after year one.
We had this conversation.
I just don't see it. I think it's going to take him a minute to, like I used to say, or like I like to say, find the bathroom, that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And I just don't see it.
Well, we got this show taped, and we could come back and visit this. I know they expect to win, and I think the saving grace is going to be the assistant staff, the assistant coaches. Yeah, I know Coach Faulk is his first year being the head coach, but guess what? I've seen another coach come in the first year. You call it the kiss of death, but he was able to get things done, and a Southern team that went 6-5 actually was their best team ever. Those 5 losses were by 14 points. That North Carolina A&T game, wow, Circle City Classic.
Mm-hmm.
The late great Jesse Jackson was on the sideline. I don't know what he told me.
Bad luck, Jackson.
What?
Every game he's been to, we took an L.
Well, they won that game.
And I'm going all the way back to the 70s, to the early mid 70s. When Jesse shows up, God bless his soul, forgive me, but it ain't been good for the blue and gold.
Well, Carlos, I am actually shocked that I don't disagree with you. I'm surprised that you said that he won't be there because a higher calling will come calling, but the NFL or whatever. I said that about Deshaun Jackson. I said that about Michael Vick. I wouldn't necessarily say that about Marshall Faulk right now, but I don't totally disagree with you. I mean, we've talked about the conversation. We've talked about this. How long are these coaches going to stay if Jeffrey Lurie calls or Stan Kroenke calls? Talking about NFL owners. But to hear you say it, Carlos, I mean, that was kind of surprising.
Put it this way, I would not be shocked. Depends on how quickly they get to the championship level. If he gets it in year 2, boom,
he's gone.
It's just my prediction.
Now, I'm gonna play devil's advocate. Let's look at the other side.
Mm-hmm.
What if Faulk has the similar record that Dooley had and Graves had, and the Jaguar Nation is in uproar about where it's trending? Do you see Faulk being given more than 2 years?
Well, let's just look at Dooley and Graves. They won the Western Division in the first year.
Right.
So remember I said last week, you got Coach Jackson won in his first year, and he won the whole doggone thing.
Right.
So 3 coaches in the Western Division won in their first year.
Mm-hmm.
Now the second year, we looked at Coach Graves, Coach Dooley, they were out of here, right? For other reasons that we're not gonna get into. Can it be
Bottom
a
line
full?
is they were going. I mean, we can cuss and fuss and discuss it, but yeah. I mean, I think we all agree they should have been given more time.
Can it be a full? Can it be a fourth straight year that a first-year coach in the Western Division gets it done? What are you looking at, Charles? You're looking at something up there?
I'm thinking it can. Yeah, it can. And I will say that this is the type of game, week 1, Southern Alabama State, and I've said this before, this is one of those games in which when everything's against the Jaguars or Jaguar Nation, Southern ain't got a snowball's chance in hell. That's a game that they win. So do I have Alabama State winning that game week 1? Yeah. But if Southern wins that game, I wouldn't be surprised at all, because that's just the type of game, us against the world. That's the type of game Southern wins. When you're confident in them, when you got them, somehow they don't come through. But that's one of those games in which no one is picking them other than the Jaguar Nation and Carlos Brown and maybe a few others. But I see that if they win that game, look out, because confidence and momentum is a hell of a thing. When you get that confidence and momentum, Coach Pettaway knows as a coach, Wheeler, you know as a player, when you get it rolling, like Prairie View men's basketball. Once they got rolling, they had the confidence, they had some bumps in the road, but once they figured it out, you saw what happened. That could happen. That could happen for Southern University.
Right. That's why I say that first game, if they can upset Alabama State, I'm going to give them the Alabama State game. They'll beat Kentucky State. Houston will take care of them. They'll come back and beat Louisiana Christian. Then their next test is that Jackson State game. And I think that they'll have enough momentum if they come in there that they'll beat Jackson. They'll definitely take care of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Go out to Prairie View. That game I'm gonna put a question mark by, but they'll beat Texas Southern and they'll beat FAMU in Baton Rouge, and they'll beat Bethune-Cookman in Baton Rouge. And then
be careful, Coach Pettaway. Be careful.
I hate to tell you this, Charles. At that point, they're gonna take care of Alcorn now because of the momentum. We talking about Mo now. That means that they got momentum, and then of course that'll lead them into the Grambling game. And now if you do all of that, you up to what Carlos was talking about, 9-3.
Oh my goodness gracious!
You see that? You see how easy that can happen? But it comes down to that first game.
Somebody said that about 5 times already.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. You're right. Now, if they don't win the first game, it's not the end of the 2026 season.
Right.
But it could springboard them.
Yes.
And it seems like nobody's giving them a chance against Alabama State.
I mean, based on what has transpired recently, who would?
Wait a minute.
I mean,
you're the one that says Alabama State. You're not sold on it.
And I'm not. But I'm also not sold on a first-year coach who has never coached the game before in terms of being a head coach. If I had to choose between the two, based off of what I see right now, I'd have to go with Alabama State. On the flip side, Eddie Robinson lose that first game. If his seat ain't hot, I'll kiss it.
Oh, come on. Not Eddie Robinson. He seemed confident.
If he loses that first game, ain't no way. Now, we talk about momentum, Coach Pettaway. If Eddie loses that first game, he could fall for a minute.
Carlos,
look, EA, you should be silent because you've lost the Valley 2 years in a row. I got Valley winning the third one. and that's really weird because Mississippi Valley has taken care of FAMU. Must be about the matchups. Gotta be. I know we talk about that in basketball. Certain team matches up well against another team.
Yeah.
But someone said time would tell. Valley by 3. And guess what? Next week we'll look at Prairie View schedule, but Valley has a tough schedule as well.
Carlos, someone just made a post that you all are going to FAMU for their homecoming. So someone put a post out there. Is that Florida A&M's homecoming that week, October 31st?
That late in the year?
I don't know. I don't know. Somebody made a post about it. Okay, I was correct. Okay, all right. So
I know they play Texas Southern for their homecoming.
Yeah,
and that's October the 24th. So they're going to have a bye weekend on the 17th.
So yeah, look, we talk about coaches coming in the door. We know Coach Sanders. We know Coach Sanders. If you want to count that COVID year, you can. But you know what he did in his first full season. Marshall Faulk, and of course, it's been reported that Marshall Faulk is using the Coach Sanders playbook. So
that playbook don't work.
Put that playbook on the grill with some hot grease and fry some fish.
Well,
yes, sir.
We are in a copycat society. We are in a copycat society. I am not surprised. I am absolutely not surprised. So, all right.
Give me Vince Lombardi's book. Don't give me Prime book.
They're two totally different coaches, personality.
They are, but I think to me, as long as the wins and the championship trophies and the division titles come, I think it doesn't really matter.
Well, in postseason play, they went 0-2.
They did, but they won 2 SWAC. I'm just putting it. They won 2 SWAC championships.
Yeah, but he lost both Celebration Bowls.
But we've had this conversation on this show too in terms of evaluation. Does the evaluation process end when you get to Atlanta, or does it continue? The goal is to obviously win the Celebration Bowl, but when you're evaluated, we have a former AD that's talked about this. Does the Celebration Bowl count in your evaluation?
He get credit for that. There's no doubt about that. You got to give him credit for that.
It's a game, the last game on the schedule. Why wouldn't it work? You got to win those games when you get there.
But when you're evaluating your coach in totality, are you using that as part of your evaluation?
If what you're asking is he's not going to lose his job because he loses the Celebration Bowl,
right?
But wins the SWAC championship, no, that'd be foolish,
right?
And ain't gonna cut his throat. Ain't gonna cut his throat for that. Charles, but am I gonna be happy? I ain't gonna be happy,
right?
Because we wanted to come out on top, in the biggest game of the year.
Alcorn was
it ain't gonna cost him his job. No,
Alcorn was 0-3 in the Celebration Bowl. 1 under Hobson, 2 under McNair. Not one person after coming out of Atlanta, disappointed, angry, frustrated. Not one person said, "You know what? It's time to look at something else." Yes,
nor should they have.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The evaluation, yes, the goal is to win the Celebration Bowl, but does it mean mountains get moved if you don't? No. And now, if you don't win the SWAC, if your expectation is to win the SWAC and division, of course. But the Celebration Bowl I'm not saying it's icing on the cake, and I'm not saying it doesn't matter. It's a game. Yes, it gets talked about. Yes, the fan bases talk about it. Yes, the presidents needle each other about it. Yeah. But is it going to cost a coach's job? No.
Now, what would cost somebody a job? Yeah, you got to win your conference. But I think as a conference, we got to start winning these non-conference games. Yeah. Now, I'm not talking about Division II. I'm talking about other FCS, and that's still talked about.
Yeah.
Do you want to win all of your games? That's your goal. Do you want to win the Celebration Bowl? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's Atlanta or bust.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure out. So if you're Alabama A&M and Alabama State, if Alabama State wins the SWAC but lose the Magic City Classic, fans gonna be disappointed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They want that classic. They want to beat the rival. Yes, I'm telling you now.
See, I'm a little different. If Southern lost to Grambling, but they go to the SWAC championship and they win in Atlanta, guess what? I'm happy. I'm happy. I am. Winning the Celebration Bowl is greater than winning the SWAC. Well, you got to win the SWAC.
Yeah, in order to get there.
Yeah. And so that, to me, that's part of evaluation. You look at all the games that they play.
Yeah.
Now, some schools don't care about out-of-conference games. You're doing right. You're doing right. And Charles, you said a couple of weeks ago, our fans, they don't care about playing the Nickel States and the Southeastern. But see, I'm a little different. I'm coming out throwing haymakers. We're gonna
or
play
the Mississippi States or the Ole Misses. We got Ole Miss coming up. Wait a
minute, Charles. No. Mississippi State, Houston, Southern Miss.
Our fans don't even want to see those games on the schedule.
Well, apparently somebody wants to see it. It's about getting that money.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, yeah, from an administrative standpoint, yeah, we're saying administratively versus what the fans would like. The fans would love to see, I think, and I'm old school. I love the 1AA. I loved it when we played Stephen F. and Sam Houston and Youngstown State and these other FCS schools. I loved it because we are an FCS conference, whether we like it or not. So I'm agreeing with you. But some of our folks don't even care about that. And then we lose to Northwestern State last year, another FCS team, a team that hadn't won a game in 3 years. And that has aggravated the conversation of sorts. So I get it, but I'm a different elk. I want to see us do well in the FCS because Zach McKinnell, I didn't see him at Media Day, Carlos. I don't know if he was there or not. I don't know if you saw him. But Zach covers the FCS, and he is a big fan of the FCS. And so he wants to see the SWAC do better in the FCS. Mm-hmm. I agree with Zach on that. I'm 100% in agreement with him on that. And he talked about it on this show. I think he commented, it was the last week or week before. I agree with him on that. We got it. We need to play more. I understand why we don't financially. You know, the guarantee we're getting one for North Alabama, but most of the time it's home and home. North Dakota State's going to the FBS, so you can't rely on that anymore. So these other FCS teams, whether we play them or not, I don't know. But financially, we kind of see how it all goes when you're playing these FCS teams for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
No, I just think if you have success playing them and winning those games, I think the conversation changes. But now, in the playoffs, not a good record. FCS, 1AA playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, someone says Alcorn State versus FCS Louisiana. They don't want that smoke. Although McNair did beat McNeese.
FCS Louisiana, was that Louisiana?
Oh, that's Nichols, Southeastern.
Oh, yeah.
McNeese, Northwestern State.
Well, we played Northwestern State. We returned a game to them. I haven't heard of. Now, our AD did mention he would like to kind of get back with McNeese. I don't think we're playing Northwestern State anytime soon. So I think there is an effort to try to get these games, but I think it's more so to fill the schedule more so than anything. If we're not playing College of Biblical Studies anymore, if we're not playing, Ecclesia anymore, then you got to fill your schedule. And it would be great to do it with SWAC games. I think that would be great for everybody in this conference. I know Bethune-Cookman's coming back on our schedule next year. We're going there. I was told that recently. So, I think we would love to have the HBCUs, the SWACs to kind of help fill the schedules. But I understand the reality of playing USM. I get it. Fans might not like it, but it's just the financial reality.
Yeah,
well, you gotta find out where you are. You gotta like Tremaine. He's finding out what they're worth, what Prairie View's worth. And I applaud that. At the same time, it's got to be a healthy mix. In terms of winnable games versus games that it's going to be tough to get a W.
Right.
And Southern will return the game to Nicholls State. Look, Nicholls State AD's already talking about it. Record crowd coming down to Thibodeau. I remember Southern went down to Thibodeau before, and Eric Randall was the quarterback. And J.C. Police said, I have a bad feeling about this. Southern was at Nicholls' 2-yard line. He fumbled the ball. A bad snap. Yeah. There you go. Now, some people don't like going down to Thibodeau, but those are the type of games it'll be interesting to see on the schedule. We had Rodney come on this show saying Northwestern State will come back on the schedule. But boy, that was a bad loss last year for Alcorn. That was bad.
Yeah, and it was brutal. It was, I mean, you know, their coach was saying that if we can break this streak, me and my wife gonna sit in this rocking chair in our backyard, and they sat in the rocking chair in that backyard 2 weeks before the game. I mean, because they hadn't won a game in 3 years, so people still haven't gotten over that loss. That set us back, and people are still talking about it. You know, we got to move on, but you know that those are the type of things that stick with folks. Those type of losses, and so
they stormed them to field, right?
And they stormed the field, yeah. I mean,
wow.
Right. Hey, but now, Wheeler, when you start talking about scheduling a FCS PWI for your home game, a lot of times that's not a moneymaker, man.
No, it's not. No, and at some point in time, Coach Pettaway, you got to set that aside. Even though we always talk about how important the dollars are and all that sort of thing, you know, at some point in time, once you establish your goal for your particular program, you know, then you got to take that dollar sign out of the equation somewhat, and you know, look at these other facets in terms of where you want your program to be down the line. But I understand exactly what you're saying, Coach Pettaway. Don't nobody want to see, you know, Joe Blow, you know, who ain't the same color as we are, that sort of thing. And you know, so you got to understand that from an administrative point of view. That's one of those games you're gonna have to suck it up. You know, you're gonna catch hell financially, you know, on that. But you have to try to convince people to look at the larger picture. But
if we won more of those games, our fans would say, "Bring it on."
Probably would. You know how we are.
But the fact is, we're not playing them either. So that's kind of it. Kind of hurts on both sides of the fence when you're not playing them, you're not beating them. You know, we saw Florida A&M in the playoffs. It was a tough situation there going to Southeastern. We've been in 2 playoff games. You know, since I've been here, it's tough. But if we started winning some of those games, I think people might. Well, I know people probably would change. A lot of folks would change their minds on it.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say it again. I wouldn't care if they brought one fan from the opposing team. You know, I saw Southern and Northwestern State when both programs were at a high, and it springboarded Southern. They won that game. The first time they played Northwestern State, it was in the Superdome.
Yeah.
Southern ran away with that game. Then the next year they went to Natchitoches, 20-0. Southern won about the first 4. Then Northwestern State made an adjustment. And it ended up being even after 10 games, 5 apiece.
Yeah.
But but you're right. If you're winning those games and competing, I think it tells a different story. But I know some fans don't care about playing those type of teams, but I'm trying to beat them.
Yeah.
If I'm playing Southeast Missouri, I'm trying to beat them.
Well, Perry brought up a point. Alcorn, Miles, Grambling, they used a couple of games. I can tell you, just talking to our fans are looking forward to that Miles game because we're opening up at home for the first time in several years. They understand the road is tougher after week 1, but just opening up at home and even talking about maybe just like you talk about the Pete Richardson Classic, there's been some, you know, talk about the Marino Castle Classic. Maybe use that as the Marino Castle Classic, opening up in week 1 at home. I think our fans would like to see that. I know it's easier said than done, but it's been talked around for a while. So just to open up at home, yeah, Miles is gonna be tough. They I've heard folks over there say, "Hey, bring it. We ready." Well, we'll see. And I'm just saying, just opening up at home is something that that our fans would enjoy. I know Wheeler's laughing like, "Don't get but I'm gonna bring it."
Cedric ain't saying bring it. That's for sure. I don't hear him saying bring it.
Dr. Cavill mentioned it. I think that's the only game that Northwestern State won last year. Alcorn.
Wow. That's tough. And when Southern played Northwestern State, they would traditionally always make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So again, it kind of set the tone for the season, just like this Alabama State game. It's going to set the tone for the season. Yeah, you could play Lipschitz University, an easy game.
Yeah,
you could, but it'll let you know where you stand right off the bat. And if you lose that game, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
you'll just have to see then how will your team match up.
Yeah,
in week 2 against Kentucky State.
Yeah,
it'll be very interesting. Look, I just like to play these teams and beat them, have success. But right now, we don't have success. There's a text message again. We recruit against the Nichols, Southeast, and McNeese. So there you go. In Louisiana, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, you're going after the same type of players.
So
a victory against any one of those teams, it gives you a leg up in recruiting.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about Louisiana. They got, like I say, Northwestern State, you got Nichols, Southeastern, you got McNeese. At one point, UNO was talking about playing football, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Although now they're back on the LSU system.
Yeah.
So you have some good quality FCS teams.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say, Carlos, teams like Prairie View, Texas Southern. I don't think Gramblin's going to jump into that pool, but there are quality FCS teams in Louisiana and in Texas, like Prairie View's playing Tarleton. And so for us, for Alcorn, we used to have sort of a MOU with Southeastern where we would play Southeastern in every sport, because it's only 2.5 hours from Lorman. And so it made sense to play Southeastern at the time. But I mean, that obviously is not happening now. But for us, it would be Southeastern. It would be a Samford. We played Samford in Birmingham with Steve McNair. We broke records there. So I think the schools that have close proximities to those other FCS schools, it's an advantage. But for us, we don't have that. And so it's kind of a difficult thing for us on this side of it. But for you guys, Carlos, it's wonderful. For Prairie View, for TSU, it's wonderful. If Grambling chooses to do that, it's wonderful. But I just think location plays a part in it too.
Right. Yeah, I think location is key. Like here, we got North Alabama, we got Samford. Yeah. But see, you lost Jacksonville State and you lost Troy because they both moved up to FBS.
Yeah.
So and then the only other school, and then you got South Alabama. All those are FBS schools. So in the state, we're limited to just those two schools.
Yeah. And Jacksonville State used to be 1AA.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they moved up. And Troy used to be 1AA. They moved up. All those teams were always on our schedule.
Yeah.
We played them, especially when we were Division II. All of us were Division II. We always played.
Yeah.
But it's just as important if you're playing a school on your level in a neighboring state, because or in your recruiting footprint, wherever that may be. You want to find somebody to play, in those particular areas. And like Coach Dr. Cavill was saying, I mean, if you don't win, I mean, it is what it is, but you want to look to be competitive, if nothing else. Put on a good show, so that potential recruits can see well, Southern got it going on. They ain't that far away. Maybe I can make the difference.
Right.
Let me go there. Let me go to A&M. I can get them over the hump. So, there's ways to spin it. Now, if you go out there and get whooped 70-0, that sort of thing and stuff, then, don't nobody want that on their resume. But, I mean, the other way around, you got to flip a coin.
That's where it hurts.
That's why Tennessee State for us, that's a regional game. That's why we try to keep Tennessee State in football and basketball. Because Nashville, an hour and a half from us. Their fans travel, our fans travel. Yeah. So that's why Tennessee State has replaced Jacksonville State in terms of the FCS school that we play.
Yeah.
But North Alabama, we play them in some sports. They're trying to get back on the schedule. For football, we got them in men's and women's basketball, but we're still working on trying to get them back on the schedule in football.
And I'll be honest, I would love to see, and I know Ashley and JSU, I would love to see a Jackson State and Southeastern get it on. I would love to see it. Why are you shaking your head, Charles?
Well, no, I'm shaking my head because I kind of know a little bit what the mindset is. We've talked about it before. I think he's leaning towards Celebration Bowl. He's leaning towards HBCU. He'll play a Winston-Salem State, a North Carolina Central, a Tennessee State. I can't. Now I think what was it? Deion's second year they played Campbell. Was it Campbell? And Campbell's an FCS. I don't know how they got that one, but nonetheless, that's a rarity. But I think now I can't see Jackson State doing that because I think they feel like there's more of a positive for them in the HBCU realm. Celebration Bowl and playing Tennessee State. They're opening up with Tennessee State in Nashville. It's going to be interesting in week one coming, and Tennessee State's picked to finish near the bottom of their league. So that's going to be an interesting test for Reggie Barlow as well as T.C. Taylor. That'll be interesting. But I think they're just leaning more towards the HBCU component. More so.
I mean, if you listen to T.C., he sounds like he wants that challenge. At least outwardly. Anyway, maybe inwardly he don't want that smoke, but he puts on a good face publicly, like he wants to play those schools. He wants to see how he matches up, FCS wise. So I mean, like I said, it could be just talk.
But I think Jackson State would have success based on what they've done the last 3 or 4 years. Just intrigued by that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it would be great. I mean, I would love to see. Look, I would love to see SWAC versus FCS matchups. I love to see it because it's been talked. There's an FCS Fans Nation on Facebook and X. They talk about it all the time. They have the bracketology come playoff time. They got all that going. And when we play them and can't beat them, it gets talked about in a negative sense in a way. And I hate it as a SWAC fan, as a supporter, as an alum, as a grad. I hate to hear it, but it's just the reality. We're not winning those games. We're not playing them, and we're not beating them. So I think that's frustrating for me. I don't make the decisions. I love to see it more, but it ain't happening, at least for most of us anyway.
And Dr. Cavill asked one of his questions, Carlos, in terms of how do we beat them? We beat them by getting bigger, faster, stronger. We beat them by matching fire with fire, bottom line.
Well, I think, again, based on what I used to see when Southern was playing Northwestern State, O-line and D-line, that's where it's won at. Yeah, skill positions are kind of the same. But it'll be won in the trenches. By the same token, when you play in the FBS schools, that's where it's lost at. Their 330-pound offensive linemen look a little bit different than our 330-pound linemen.
Understatement of the year.
Right. So now, Wheeler, your HBCUs that pull out of the MEAC, was that Hampton and A&T? All right, those are HBCUs. They're playing FCSs. They're in the FCS conference. They're struggling.
They're struggling
winning. They're struggling financially because the fans are not interested in those teams.
But Coach, by the way, they were struggling going in the door. and it was a struggle situation where everybody knew it was going to be a struggle before you even decided that you were going to make that call to go. So I mean, it's just, to me, what I see is what was expected all along. Now somebody say, well, how, can they even that thing up? When you go into a conference and the average budget is 23 million and yours is 18, you already in the hole. You done dug the grave. You might as well just go lay down.
Right. And in order to even to even come close, you still have to try to schedule some of them other MEAC teams just to make money.
Exactly.
Just to make a little money. So
exactly.
So see, when you start doing comparison, it doesn't always work now. FCS versus FCS, but they're not winning and they're not bringing in any money.
If I'm in a PWI conference, coach, it ain't gonna make no sense for me to play my out-of-conference games against PWI schools.
Right.
I mean, I get enough of it, during the year. And like you said, we ain't making no money playing in our conference as it is. So I got to find that black college rival, and try to get them in or try to get over there or something like that. I got to throw my fans a bone at some point in time.
So see, if we get away from playing the D2s and the NAIAs, we can continue to try to play the other HBCU FCS schools. I think that would serve us better, because at least we get a gate out of it, and you get another FCS opponent.
Well, I'm not interested in playing the Houstons, but I know they do it. They play in LSU. We talked a little bit about that last week. I want more money if you're going to play it. 800,000, you had to go across town. You doggone right. Inflation. The economy is not doing as well. But at some point, we just going to have to decide. Our number one goal is to land our bus. That's fine. Can we start winning those other FCS non-conference games? I think you can do it.
And Carlos, that's going to have to be a collective decision, not an individual institutional decision. And that's going to be the difference right there. Because if we all not in the same boat, if we all not trying to row in the same direction, we ain't going to be doing that but going around in circles like we are right now.
Which is going to get more play? Southern beating Southeastern or Southern winning the Celebration Bowl?
I think both.
But if you had to put one more than the other, I think Southern winning the Celebration Bowl would get a whole lot more play. A lot more. Yeah. Yep. But
Probably because that's the prize at the end of the year.
That's right.
And it comes with $1 million price tag, $1 million bounty or what have you.
Yep.
And it's worth more financially than any FCS playoff game you're going to play or want to play or what have you.
Yeah. I'm going to share a story. The last time I was at the Celebration Bowl with Carlos, and I know, Carlos, you might remember this. They had the press conference before the practice on Friday. We got the press conferences in. Me and you walk on the field. We at the 5-yard line, the 10, the 15, the 20. We walk it up the field. You remember what you told me? Man, I wish Southern would be here. And so you're just thinking about, man, what it would be like if the Jaguar Nation was at the Ben Stadium, Southern was in the game. And I think that's where it is. I mean, you get $1 million to being in the game. I think that's what people are striving for. Us, we want to see us win every game. But I think the Celebration Bowl with that $1 million price tag is worth a whole heck of a lot. The games on ABC, all the attention, that's what people are talking about. And yeah, we can agree, disagree on that. I would love to see us in the FCS playoffs. I would love to see it. I love to see both. But I think if you're looking at what people would like, what fans like, fans love the Celebration Bowl, Atlanta. All the HBCU folks are there for that time in December. I think people would like that more so than the playoffs. No disrespect to the playoffs. No disrespect. But I think people like Atlanta and the Celebration Bowl a lot more. Can we accomplish both? Yes, we can accomplish both. Now, the stars have to line up in a way. Yeah, we can. But unfortunately, we haven't had success. Alcorn lost 2 of them. Youngstown in Northeast Louisiana, now ULM. We can accomplish both, yes. But how much energy do you put in the playoffs as compared to the Celebration Bowl? When FAMU lost to Southeastern, how much conversation did that get? We're disappointed, but we quickly moved on from that. But the Celebration Bowl, people talk about that a lot longer. It's a lot deeper. It cuts a lot deeper. It's SWAC versus MEAC. I just think just more folks are just putting their energy and synergy into that Celebration Bowl.
But you know what, Charles? If we're going to the Celebration Bowl, if we're going to the FCS playoffs, I want my best team to go. If we're going to match up nationally, that sort of thing, I don't want my runner-up or my third-place team to go to the FCS playoffs. I want my top dogs in there. So unless that can happen, I wouldn't give 2 cents for any other kind of scenario.
Well, Alabama State had a chance to be in it last year. Dr. Cable was ready to pay Tuskegee a check to go to the playoffs if he was selected, and they were one of the top 3. Well, they were one of the top 3 teams.
But they weren't the champs.
No, they weren't.
They weren't the champs, and so to me, that's sending your second best team.
Right.
You don't send a poodle to a real dog fight. Going out there it's gonna be tough. Don't send the second string in, send the first string.
Yeah. Well, that's not gonna happen.
Or don't go at all. Or stay home.
It's not gonna happen. The best team in the league is gonna go to the Celebration Bowl.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
Well, let the discussion continue. It is something that has been discussed and probably can still be talked about. I'm glad when we talk about basketball, same thing. Got to play all these guarantee games, but guess what? You're not going to be hired or fired because of those games, as Charles would say.
Ooh.
It's going to be winning. It's going to be winning that SWAC championship and getting to the tournament, Coach Pettaway.
Yeah.
And
no coach in basketball has been fired for going 0-13, 1-12, 2-11 in non-conference. It hasn't happened. I don't think it will happen unless there's something off the court that got them fired.
No job. They haven't been fired, but they start writing it up. When you go 0-13, they don't fire you, but they start writing up the papers.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Yeah, they don't fire you right there. Hey, Charles, they don't fire you, but they start writing it up.
Okay, so if you go 1-12 in non-conference, but go 14-4 in conference, do they tear that plan up?
Yeah, yes, they do, because you didn't win it. Yeah, you didn't win it. So that I'm serious. You right. You gotta look at it now. No, they don't fire you in December. But because you did so bad in the preseason, they hold it to the end.
Well, if he brought in $2 million in that 0-12, you got to kind of give him a pass for the 0-12.
I know, really, you will, but some of them ADs don't, man.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You do that, but some of them ADs don't do that. They don't look at it. Charles, trust me. I'm in with the guys. I know how this thing works now. Yeah, you're absolutely correct. They don't fire you because you're 0-13. But I promise you, in those meetings, they start writing your stuff up, your exit plan.
So they don't care about what you did in conference, even though you might have had some success?
Yeah, you can have a winning season in conference play and still get fired. Check the records.
But is it because of the 0-13, or is it because of the lack of maybe not winning enough in conference in the past?
I think the two go hand in hand.
Yeah,
Charles,
it's a combination. Charles,
You
it's
know?
a combination. But you're absolutely correct. Unless you just do something criminal or something like that, they don't fire you in the first semester. But I promise you, by the time you start conference play, they're already writing your epithet, man. Yep.
Sounds like they were already fired before the season started.
In some cases, they were, Charles. I'm serious. Some of my buddies have gone through. I promise you, some of my friends have gone through that, man.
What's the word? Balance.
Yep.
That's what I'm gonna be in the empty car with my son. How can I get excited if I'm 0 and 12?
Yep.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
That's
why you see me smiling when you used to always say that. I was like, yeah, they're writing it up though.
Wow. Okay.
I think some people want that cake and eat it too. Put me down for that.
Yeah.
Put me down for that.
And Charles, I'm serious. It's like you're a lamed up coach, man. You know it that at the end of the year, unless you just win it all, and you just had that to happen now, unless you just win it all, they've already started writing it up, Charles.
Yeah, I get. I guess I don't know. Maybe I need to frame it a little better because
right. Because I promise you, last year was a prime example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that saved the coach.
But I guess in that case, then they were probably already gone halfway out the door anyway, and regardless of what happened. But I'm just saying, if it's a balance, if a coach has won, maybe not at the greatest level, but then was 2-12 on average, 3-11 in non-conference, but did fairly well in conference, what weighs out in the end? What gets more weight? You brought in $1 million in the guarantees. That's great, but you didn't do well, but you did really well in conference. That saves you. In other words, does a non-conference fire you or does conference save you?
I would say that the conference probably saves you more than it would save you in most cases.
You know, but I'd have to look at budget-wise, what am I putting into the program?
Right.
You know, am I paying enough to be winning on a regular basis come conference time? And if that answer is yes, then that's going to play more of a factor in my evaluation process than anything else. Yeah. You know, if I'm giving you everything under the sun to get it done and it just ain't happening, even if I'm bending in terms of the guarantee games and giving you a more favorable schedule out of conference, that sort of thing, but we just still ain't getting it done, then I got to look at whether or not somebody else can get it done better.
Well, again, I mean, I agree with that in conference, yes, but I'm saying I'm just looking at how much weight does not. If a coach is already out the door, the non-conference probably doesn't matter. Like Wheeler said, I mean, like Coach Pettaway said, if a coach is already 1 foot in the grave, probably doesn't matter unless you had a situation where there's a stipulation in the contract. If you win 17 games, you get one of your extensions, something like that. But I'm saying that overall in the evaluation, how much does November and December play more so than January through March play? That's kind of my question.
Right. And I think it depends on the institution.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. Again, have some balance. That's just tough to ask somebody to play 10, 11 money games. And then you got to get them excited to do well in the conference. Then, because of that non-conference schedule, Coach Pettaway, you almost got to go undefeated in conference.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's just to have a winning season. Just to have a winning season. That's what people that's what we don't really look at. Mm-hmm. When you put a coach out there like that, that joker has to go almost undefeated in conference play just to have a winning season.
And to me,
a winning record.
That's a whole lot of pressure
in the conference.
Okay, so that asks another question. Are you looking at the overall record or are you looking at the SWAC record plus the SWAC tournament when you're looking at an overall evaluation?
I think they look at overall. I think they look some of the ADs look at overall, man.
I think you got to look at everything. You got to weigh everything. It's just a matter of how much weight do you give to each category. You know, but you got to weigh it all.
Charles, I've been in them meetings with them ADs.
I know.
You got to weigh it all. You got to weigh it all. There's no doubt about that. And like Coach Pettaway just said not too long ago, if you're on your way out the door, it don't make no difference.
Yeah.
You know, you can win them all. And I'm still trying to find a way to get your butt up out of there. Right. But it's going to be more difficult if you win it than it is if you're not winning.
Right, because Charles, like at that end of the year evaluation, this is the kiss of death. If that AD tells you got to win a championship next year, you might well go on. You might well go on and leave now.
Yeah.
Right, and to me, that's so unfair to do a coach like that, man.
It is.
And the other thing in coaching that's a death sentence, get that man a 1-year extension.
Mm-hmm.
It kills your whole program. You can't recruit like that.
That's true.
What did I say?
Recruit when it's announced that you got one, you get a 1-year extension. Now, who coming to play for you?
And what did Austin say? All games matter. So you can slice it up, dice it, whatever way you want. You know, hey, all games matter.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you have that kind of pressure?
Right.
You know, now we've had the discussion. The ADs come in, tell the coach, look, we need to bring in this amount of money. Well, and I think Texas Southern was able to keep a majority of their money for those games, but for the most part, you don't.
You don't.
I'm going to do a favor for you. What's the favor for me?
Right. That's why some of them AD they.
But if I'm giving you the lion's share of the money, ain't no need in you going out there. What have you go out there for? That ain't making no sense to me from a budget point of view.
But how many of the teams get to keep the majority of their money?
Not a lot. That's
not
for sure.
Lot. No,
not a lot. That money already spent, Carlos.
You scratch my back and I scratch yours. Well, guess
that
what?
Money gone. It ain't a matter of scratching nobody's back. You knew when you took the job we was going to be playing money games.
Yep. But not all of them, no, Wheeler.
Not all of them now. I agree with you. I agree with you, Coach Pettaway. I agree with you. But those parameters have to be set
up front
from day one, prior to you even taking the job. Look, Coach Pettaway, you know, we're going to have to play about 6 money games, you know, during the preseason, or we're going to have to play 5 or what have you. You know, the other 5, you can do, you know, what you will. You know, we got to do that. I need to make sure that it's going to be okay with you prior to us taking our next step, whatever that next step may be.
Yes, sir. I agree with that, Doc. I agree with that.
Well, let me ask this question. I'm doing some math here. All right, let's just say you got a coach 4 years. 4 years. He averaged 13 non-conference games a year. Okay.
13 wins?
He played 13 non-conference games.
Oh, okay. No. Okay, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's 52 games. He goes 4-48 in non-conference. In those, he averages basically 1 win in non-conference a year. That same 4-year period, you got 18 conference games. He goes 9-9, 10-8, somewhere around 500. Every other year, he wins a game in the SWAC tournament. Does that coach get an extension or not?
He probably won't.
Oh, thank you.
And what? He probably won't. He probably won't. And you say 10 because in my mind, I'm going to be asking, is there somebody else out there that can do better? And with what you just put out there, Charles, that answer is going to be yes. I can find somebody that's going to that can do a little better.
And Charles, I promise you, that's the dilemma that they're putting these basketball coaches in. And a lot of people don't see it that way. But I promise you that's killing them. And then once they leave us, they can't get another head coaching job because look at their record.
if I'm paying for 800, Charles, if I'm paying for 800 and you ain't giving me but 3, we got to make some changes. You know, I mean, that's the bottom line. For me to stay with the status quo, you know, that's not going to satisfy anybody. The president ain't going to have it. The fans ain't going to have it. You know, hell, your wife at home ain't going to have it. You know, so it is what it is on that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
That's why I wouldn't do it. and you say that up front. This is the way it is. I thank you for the time. I'm gonna move on.
Exactly.
I'm gonna move on.
Yeah. Okay.
Carlos, EA has been trying to bring up the past 2 years. Title IX needs to be revamped. Well, guess what? Don't hold your breath. That's an educational act. It's a law, and you cannot dismantle it.
Yep.
You can't. EA, get over it.
Yep.
You cannot do that. And if you had a daughter that played sports, would you want the same opportunity for her as for your son?
Of course you would.
Yep. Ask Brett Favre. Yep.
Oh boy, Brett Favre. Guess what?
Yeah.
He didn't serve any time, did he?
Nope.
No, he didn't. Did anybody really think that he would?
Yeah.
In Mississippi, Carlos, really?
I thought Louisiana was a special place. Mississippi, I guess, beats it. Well, that's going to do it for today's show.
Good show.
Make sure you tune in next Saturday at 11 a.m. for another edition of the Carlos Brown Show right here on the Black College Sports Network. Let the conversation continue in the chat room. I want to thank Brian Fulford and also Roy for producing today's show. Now, I'm going to go get some rest. I wasn't 100%, but I will be back next Saturday.
Call Pat Riley. Call Pat.
Pat got to do some miracle work.
I'm going to find me some oxtails, and it ain't gonna be like it would be down y'all's way. But I'm a fake it till I make it.
Hey, we were talking about that during the chat room. Charles, I can't believe.
Yep.
Boudin balls. Come on, Charles, in Louisiana.
No, sir. No, sir. Sorry, Louisianians. Sorry. Nothing against Boudin. I just can't do it. I've tried it every which way. Sausage, Boudin balls. No, sir. It's 3 things that I just can't get. I just can't get a taste to. Raw oysters, Boudin balls, Boudin, however way you want to cut and slice it, and crispy burgers. I can't do it. I can't do it. As crazy as it sounds, I can't do it.
Well, I don't think they have Crystal in Louisiana.
They got
but Charles, Boudin balls, you don't know what you're missing. And Wheeler, you said you'll try anything more.
I got to find out. I got to check that out.
Peace and God bless everyone.